So today, I'm out trying to do something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that is take a tail off a deer that I've harvested, tie my own lures, and then go out and successfully catch a fish. Back in September on an archery hunt, I was able to take a doe, and I immediately noticed that the deer had a bunch of different colors in its tail. It had white, it had a lot of brown and red, it had some black, and I immediately thought, man, those are very natural colors that would make a perfect bucktail jig. Perfect. I love to smallmouth fish, I love to bass fish, and I thought if I could take those and tie those myself, later in the year, I'm gonna take it out and try to catch fish. Well, we took it down to Cumberland Pro Lures, and I had a lady by the name of Chrisma teach me how to tie a bucktail jig. So you've been making bucktail jigs for how many years?
23 years.
23 years. And you're gonna show me
Tell
today.
my age.
You're gonna show me today how I can take my own deer tail and make a lure out of it, a smallmouth, that I'm gonna try to target using this bait.
It's fun because, I mean, it's always good whenever you know that you've made something to get out there and catch supper. You know?
Yeah. Show me what I need to do to get this process started.
You see your two little weed guards? We want to push those forward to get them out of the way.
And we're using these heads. These heads are called your Procaster. You guys actually pour these here on the hooks, but you can go to a tackle store and buy whatever size jig heads and hooks you want.
Right.
Already pre-poured and done.
Right.
All right, now let's go from here. Tell me what's next.
We're going to start with the thread, and what I like to do is just, I don't waste anything, so I just put just enough to cover to where it's on there good enough you can get some glue and then your hair going.
Okay.
I like to have a tie that's tight enough that it's not going to come loose, but you use the glue just as an extra bond.
Gotcha, okay.
Because when them fish hit them, they hit them hard.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to use your tail.
Okay.
And we're going to do one, what I like to call the color of natural.
Okay.
And that's the back side of the deer tail. Smallmouths seem to like it.
Oh yeah.
I always like to get it as close as I can so that you have your length. And I usually get a couple good cuts because I like for it to be a good thick jig. And then here's the hardest part of tying is making sure that you hold your hair good. And I cut as close as I can to my fingers.
Okay.
And then what I like to do before I even start is put a drop of my glue on here.
So this looks like fingernail polish. This is actually a glue.
It's actually a glue, and it's a waterproof glue. And see how I put that on there? And I spun it around. That is what makes it to where it's good and full all the way around, consistent. And then once I've got it started like this, I like to go ahead and just do what I call cosmetic.
Gotcha.
And all you're doing is you're going to cover all this that's sticking out from the front there.
Gotcha, okay. So you cut you a big thick piece of it, you popped it on the shank of the hook, and then you wrapped it and spread it around so that it completely covers that shank.
Yes.
And now you're just securing it on there with a bunch
Beautifying it, yeah. And now what we're going to do is make a knot.
Okay.
And whenever you pull your thread back, you want to wrap your fingers around it, and you're coming around the head.
Okay.
And I like to do that a couple times.
Okay.
And then I break it off into the bait. So it's in there, and then anything that's sticking up, I like to go ahead and cut that.
Snip it off.
And then I'll take my glue and go all the way around it. And that way, you know that you've got a really good tie. I go ahead and push my little weed guards back.
Oh yeah, you got something holding it, so you might as well.
And then here we go.
Now that is a beautiful, beautiful jig.
The main thing is just getting that hair on there and holding it and getting everything in place. Once you get into place, it's easy peasy.
I'm telling you right now, this will catch fish. You know, the lake is up about 20 feet from where it would normally be at winter pool. Out on the main lake, we're about 48 degrees. As I go back these creeks, I'm looking for inlets of water that's coming in. The last couple of rains we've had, it's been a little bit warm. So as that water comes in, you'll get pockets where the water temperature could be 2-3 degrees warmer. I'm at 50.2 right now as I get to the back of this creek, and I can hear the water coming in. So I know this is a spot where the bait should come in, and this is a spot where these fish are gonna hang out until they spawn. I'm gonna give this a shot. Come on, fish. Here we go. Try to sling him in the boat. Oh, he might be a little too big to sling. Hold on here. Well, you know, I should have had the net ready. I'm back here casting this little hair jig that we hand tied off my deer, and should have had the net ready. Actually, I had my cooler setting right in the middle of my net, and I had about a 4-pound smallmouth come up and eat this thing on me, and couldn't get the net out. Lesson learned. Big fish swirled right there. Oh, here we go. All right, let me grab that net. Actually, I'm gonna just throw this one in. There we go. Man, this is a fish that's just come out of super cold water. You ought to feel how cold this fish is to the touch. I got back in here, hooked a pretty good smallmouth, got it right up to the boat, and now this fish. This fish here is, you know, it's knocking on, it's over 3.5 pounds. Let's see what we got here. Right at 20 inches long. It is really, really cool to think that you took a September successful archery hunt, turned it into a bag full of jigs, and brought them down here, and lo and behold, turn a September doe hunt into a beautiful smallmouth bass. I'll tell you what, there's something kind of special about that. Let's get this fish back in the water.